It's true that people are made of the same stuff, biologically speaking, but true diversity, now that is found in the way we think, feel, and act, especially if our desires live outside the norm. Some have a hunger for knowledge, but some have a hunger for something else entirely. Okay, let's go. Before we start, I've decided that humans are weird and I don't want to be one anymore.
Okay, me too.
Well, I was going to say, you're probably going to feel the same after today's case.
Yeah, probably will, because your cases tend to do that to me, don't they?
I'm sorry, who did one about a...
You shush your mouth.
You
shush your mouth.
Scarred me, that one.
Yeah, that was a bit, yeah.
So those in glass houses.
Ooh.
Those in glass houses.
Yeah.
Armin.
Ah,
Men.
men.
He probably said the same thing himself. Armin Meiwes was born in Essen, Germany, on December 1st of 1961 to parents Waltraud and Detlef Meiwes.
Ooh, just love.
Now, listen, when you learn what Essen means in English, it's a little too on the nose, and I will tell you later.
Oh?
So Armin had two older brothers, but they're half brothers. Apparently that doesn't really count. I don't know. But it was to his dad's previous partner before he ended up with Armin's mum, and they had him. Turns out his dad didn't really like sticking around, because just like his previous partner, he decided that he was going to pull the old Houdini, and he bails.
Yeah. He's going down to the shop to get some cigarette stuff.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
500 years later.
Oh, where is my dad?
Oh, Daddy?
Where is mein Papa?
Mein Papa?
He's not coming home, Armin. And that happened when he was 8, so he was old enough to kind of, like, he stuck around for the first 8.
Oh, that's sad.
And then he went, see ya.
Oh, poor thing.
But Armin still had a mummy, and she still stayed.
Good job.
Good job, Mutter. But there, like, isn't really much more that I could find on him about his early years after that, because, well, there wasn't really anything to talk about.
I hate when you can't find stuff.
You know?
Just give me a little bit. Just give me a little,
give
bite.
me some info about his academic life. What was he like at school? Was he able to make friends? Did he have trouble? Did he get bullied? So the only things that I really learned about him is that he loved the fairy tale Hansel and Gretel.
Ooh.
Loved it. For one specific reason that we will find out later. In his later years, he would describe himself as feeling very lonesome after the breakdown of his family. Like when his dad left and stuff. And as there's a lack of, I guess, backstory after that, I say we just jump right into him.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. Okay. Now, if you don't know today's subject, then that's okay. And if you do, then you will know that this is not actually a normal true crime case, because while Armin wanted to do something very illegal, he wanted to do it in a manner in which he and a few select others, at a stretch, may consider ethical cannibalism.
Oh, f*** off.
What the? I told you! I said
you
watch
literally
your
warned
mouth.
me. I said you watch your mouth.
I said, listen, I said,
You
don't you swear
literally-
this time. You said, yes, I'm not going to swear. And I said, don't do it. Like,
2
literally.
minutes, 48.
2 minutes ago, I said, look, listen, I got mine out the way. I was lucky. You didn't, but I'm just warning you, watch your mouth. The first chance you get.
I know. You literally, you're going to get just...
I warned you.
Yeah, great. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for this.
And look, bit of a reach, mate. But still, he wanted to do it ethically. Like,
Yeah.
sustainably sourced.
Eco-friendly, plant-based, gluten-free,
I can't believe it's not human.
preservative-free.
Human, not free. I mean, it is beef free, pork free, poultry free, fish free. Anyway, look, some people, maybe they just don't want to be your run-of-the-mill villain people eaters. Some of them have class.
And he does.
Well, no, but
No, just say it.
just saying, just making a statement. Now that I've mentioned that, it's time to tell you what Essen means in German. It means eat.
What a place to grow up in.
I know.
What are
And
the odds?
can you guess why he was so fond of the story Hansel und Gretel?
Because they get eaten in a big pot. Put in a pot. Come on.
In the oven, mate.
Oh no. Oh no. It was at this moment she realised. Oh no.
So,
Oh.
the strange part in today's case, and just to be clear, wanting to eat someone is very strange on its own, but what he wanted to do was find a willing victim to consume. Someone who wanted to die and was okay with being eaten.
Oh my gosh. Who would want to be eaten and how do you find that?
That's in aisle hell to the no.
To the na.
That's right.
Oh no.
You cannot make this stuff up, hey?
Can I just ask one thing?
I don't know if I can answer it.
Well, just to stop me from swearing, has it got anything to do with children?
No.
Okay, because that's where my mind went to, because of Hansel and Gretel. I'm like, oh my god, he wants to eat kids! Okay.
He's not a monster. He ate one person.
Okay, cool. It's not cool, but...
Today's episode doesn't really have anything non-consensual in it, as hard as it is to believe. There is nothing that happens that is non-consensual. There is nothing that happens involving animals. Well, there's not even the consumption thereof. There is nothing that happens that involves children. Like I said, it's a weird case.
Huh. Well, I can't help it if my mouth opens with the swear word, right?
So where does one turn to find a good meal in 2001? The internet. What a novel thing. Because it existed at the time. Anyway, he scoured the internet looking for somebody who was kind of just offering themselves up to be eaten. Very strange, I've got to admit. Do you think that he had any luck?
I want to say no, but yes.
Correct. He had no luck.
Okay, good.
He had no luck just looking. So he decided that it was best for him to actually post something up on the internet asking for a willing victim to submit themselves.
No.
Yes. He kept it short and sweet though. He said, looking for a well-built 18 to 25-year-old to be slaughtered and then consumed.
Okay.
But you're probably thinking like, no one in the right mind is going to respond to that, surely. And you'd probably assume the same about someone in the right mind not advertising that they wanted to kill and eat someone. But you'd be wrong. With a capital W-R-O-N-G.
You can shut your mouth now.
Nein, ich nicht. Shut ich mut.
I think I left the hair straightener on. I need to go.
I know, and guess what? Armin would get responses. He got a few different responses.
Of course he did.
And each time he requested to, like, meet up with them and stuff, they were kind of like, no! 999!
But also, why respond to someone like that? I was going to say you don't know what type of person they are, but you know what type of person they are.
He's literally it's black and white. He's a cannibal.
That's what I mean. Like, why would you reply to that? Because then what if he goes and kills ya with whatever details he's got?
So, no one is replying to this guy. Until Bernd-Jürgen Armando Brandes, who was 43, did. And he was known to have ideas about mutilations and fantasies of being consumed. So it was kind of like a perfect match made in heaven. I think. He was actually known, apparently, as a bit of a prosy, and part of what he enjoyed was maybe taking it slightly too far during sex, but he wouldn't really be the perpetrator. He liked kind of being dominated and hurt.
Yeah.
Which is strange to me, but everyone needs a psychiatrist.
Go talk to someone.
Talk to someone who can help you, buddy. So they discussed what they wanted to get out of their interaction and what they wanted to do, and he was even telling Armin what he could do with his body after it was done. He was pretty much like, I'm dead, have at it. Like, I don't care. Plus, again, he had this fantasy of being eaten by someone, so
Can't come back from that.
I think he knew that. He even told Armin, he said, when I'm gone, you should use my skull as an ashtray.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, right.
And I know this is really inappropriate, but Brandes, He worked for Siemens AG.
Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, this stuff just writes itself because I was thinking you have the cannibal who was born in Eat, Germany.
Yeah.
And then you have this other gay dude or bisexual, I think, who worked for Siemens AG. It was just perfect.
Yeah, this gay dude.
Sorry, well, apparently he was bisexual, but everyone knows bisexual is just a stop on the road to Gayville. Hashtag that's not
Just waiting at the bus stop.
what I think.
Yeah.
But on a serious note, one outlet that I can't actually find, and because I heard about the story a long time ago, and there was one outlet that was saying that Brandes was actually just like someone that suffered massive depression, and he just wanted to die, but he didn't want to die by himself or do it alone. He was just ready to go.
Yeah.
So him giving himself to the cannibal meant that he didn't have to die alone, and someone could be there with him while it happened.
That's really sad.
It's really sad, but again, I can't report on that. Not that I'm a reporter, but I can't report on that as like actual facts because again, I couldn't find it anywhere. And every single other article that I went through while researching this stated that he was a bit of a masochist and he wanted to be eaten because that like served his sexual desire.
Well, if you're a 40-year-old adult and you say you want to be eaten.
And not even just in like it's not a euphemism. Like he wants to be consumed and shat out. He wants to be eaten.
That's so gross. No, thank you.
Yeah. So Brandes responds to this thing and they both arrange to meet up so they can fill their mutual fantasies. Obviously one's being eaten and one is the eater. And this happened on the 9th of March 2001 at Armin's property in Amstetten. And apparently they didn't want to muck around and they wanted to get into it right away.
So literally just met up. All right, let's go. You the guy that wants to eat me? Yes, I'm ready to die now.
Well, ladies, hold on to your butts. Men, hold on to something else. It's in the location of your root chakra. Tell me, what's tragedy without a little foreplay? And I mean, well, who wants to let a stranger eat them without trying a little bit for yourself? But to help you just for a second before I continue, please don't forget to follow us on YouTube and on Spotify. Also, don't forget to keep up with us on our social medias, and for links you can check out link.tree/winetime mysteries. And we just wanted to thank every single person out there for your support, for your follows, and for those of you who like to comment. Every last engagement and interaction means a lot to us, and it goes a long way for our podcast, so thank you.
Thank you. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. So they bone.
Oh, okay.
Because like they're there to do, you know, both of them have a desire, one to eat a man, one to be eaten by a man. So they're horny, they're turned on by the idea of what is about to happen.
Yeah.
So they have sex. And then what happens when you're, you know, burning off that energy and you're burnt through your calories? You get hungry.
Oh no.
You're like, oh yeah. Oh
no.
Well, they thought that they would just have a little snack. Just a little sauteed salt and pepper and garlic bearnaise.
No. No.
You heard the last word I said?
Bearnaise?
Bearnaise.
Oh. I just shut myself off. I was like, oh yeah.
Well, Brandes wanted Armin to bite it off.
Bite what off?
His ding ding. His bearnaise.
No.
And Armin gave it a good crack, but that thing is tougher than you'd think. He couldn't get through it.
Oh.
So then he's like, oh, this is not working. So he went and got a knife. Only he got a blunt one. So it couldn't actually cut the whole way through. So then they stopped, and then he went and got a sharp one, and then that kind of did the trick.
And old mate was just happily standing there? What? My imaginary Bearnaise is hurting.
So obviously they're both meant to be partaking in this meal. So they separate their portions because they're both going to have a slice. Armin wanted to try his al dente, but he couldn't manage because it was too chewy, so he couldn't actually get through it. And then I don't think that Brandes had the same idea, so they decided that they were just going to cook it because that made more sense. And that's when they decided to saute it with some garlic and some pepper and some salt.
How is he standing there after he's just done that?
I have to think that maybe he was sitting down at this point.
Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah. But Butch is out there. What happens to fresh meat, like freshly killed meat, the second you try to cook it? It's too fresh. It just burns.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
So that's what happened. There was charred pinaise in the pan, and they couldn't even eat it. But you asked a lot of questions about, oh, well, Brandis was sitting there, was it? It was just bleeding out. Did he plug it up? Some say before, some say after, but around this event, he had taken a handful of sleeping pills. I heard somewhere that it was 20, and another one just said multiple, so he had sleeping pills. He also drank a bottle of cough syrup, I believe it was Vicks cough syrup, and he washed that down with some schnapps.
Okay, yeah. I was like, how is he completely straight doing this?
Obviously that was like to help with the pain. And then also if he's taking all that kind of stuff, maybe he is, that's his suicide part of it, right?
Yeah.
So he's kind of taking his own life, then Armin can't get in trouble, so maybe that's just what it was. But you've got tons of tattoos, you're tatted up, you're a total baddie. Do you remember, have any of your tattoo artists ever told you not to drink alcohol before you go and get a tattoo done?
Yeah.
And do you recall why?
Because you bleed more.
So basically, alcohol has an adverse effect on our blood where it prevents the coagulation, which means when you bleed, you keep bleeding. You don't have the facilities for a while for it to actually clog or coagulate, and then you end up bleeding out. So he had drunk schnapps. That's going to have that effect. He's now losing tons of blood.
That's what happens when you lose your panels.
So Armin takes Brandes to the bathtub. Now, I don't know if he filled it with warm water or if there was something in there that allowed him to stay comfortable. I don't know, but he lies down in the bathtub and they stand there for 3 hours waiting for Brandes to die.
Oh my gosh.
Well, look, I mean, he did stuff to like bide his time. He sat there and he read Star Trek.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And by like he, I mean Armin read Star Trek. I don't even know if he was reading it out loud to Brandes or if he's just sitting there reading it quietly.
Yeah. I'm just gonna take a seat. You let me know when you're ready to go.
Yeah. After 10 hours, Brandes still is not dead.
He's holding on.
He's trying not to. And I'm not laughing at that.
No.
But it's just like he's wanting to go, but he's not going.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And I can't locate the dialogue of what would have happened between the two of them. So I don't know what conversation took place, but if it wasn't an agreed upon situation, then Armin must have got bored waiting and he stabbed him multiple times in the neck, so he would die.
Oh, okay. Yep. Well, you've got to think, like, bleeding out for 10 hours? Wouldn't you just be like, hey, can you just,
Well, I mean, apparently it was to stop his suffering.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like, just... Ugh.
But you know what else would do that? A doctor. But then you wouldn't get your meal, but then it's like someone's not dead. He would have no binaise.
Yeah.
But he would be alive. Now, I don't know about you specifically, but there must be some type of skeptic in you somewhere, or maybe a listener, who is thinking, well, this German dude was clearly a bad guy, and he's obviously just killed this dude, and his narrative is to say that this is all the stuff that happened. Right?
I wasn't even thinking that, but yeah, that sounds right.
But that would make sense.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like, okay, well, he's obviously just... It's kind of like that they just committed suicide claim. I didn't do it, they did it. Right? Because there's no proof.
Yeah.
Nay, my sweet little idiot. They filmed the whole thing. From the castration through till him...
So there's videos
dying.
out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, they weren't really allowed to release them, but I'm pretty sure if you looked hard enough and knew the right people, you probably could get access to them.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, though. There's something out there someone has seen. Woo, no thank you.
Armin said, I believe on trial, that his friend enjoyed dying. And then he made some comments about it taking a terribly long time. Which is why there's a part of me that's kind of like, are you sure that you didn't just... Because he was taking too long to die. That you just went, you know? Because you were hungry. At that point, you haven't eaten for 13 hours. And your sauteed pinaise did not work.
He's hangry.
He's hangry. Well, once the deed was done, Armin hung Brandes on a meat hook and took his body apart, putting cuts of meat into his freezer and grinding his bone into flour.
Huh. What does that say?
Waste not, want not.
Waste not, want not. Yeah, right. All right, that's smart.
And look, I don't know if he had meat for every single meal, but Brandes kind of provided him with enough meat for the next 10 months.
Oh my gosh. I don't like that.
Neither. And guys, just so you know, that's not me saying, oh yeah, that's a good cut of meat. That's
No.
not what I'm saying at all. I am just being very factual about what happened.
Yeah, I think I'm just more shocked that you continued to eat him. I can't. Okay. Yeah.
But by month 10, he was almost out of human, and I guess he loved the process so much that he relisted his post, looking for a new, willing victim. Oh no. Only an Austrian teenager, like a school person, sees it and he's like, what the floop? And then he goes and reports it to local police.
Good on you.
That's what I said. I said that very thing. And on December the 11th, 2002, they raided his house and they found the remaining 15 pounds. That's all that was left. 15 pounds of human meat under some pizza boxes in his freezer.
No.
Yes.
No.
Like, don't do it, but yes, that's what happened. Also, before we continue, do you know that one of his nicknames was the polite cannibal?
Oh my gosh. Please may I eat you?
But you can probably add honest to that too, so the polite, honest cannibal, because he told the truth of what happened pretty much straight away. But it took them still somehow 7 months to put a case together, even though they had the video, the emails.
How?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Look, Germans are meant to be super efficient, so I have to assume there was a reason. Maybe they're combing through every particular thing to make sure that
It was all...
yeah, that it was all on board, it was all on level, and that people weren't, the other side's legal team weren't going to be able to twist something on it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yep.
So on the 30th of January 2004, he was convicted of manslaughter
What?
and sentenced to 8 years in prison.
Oh my gosh. Only 8 years.
Look, there were some people who felt the same. I believe the court, and there was a debate over whether he could actually be convicted at all, because Brandes had volunteered and went to Armin's house fully aware of his intentions, and it also was made a lot harder on the German lawyers because, fun fact, cannibalism was not illegal in Germany at that time.
Of course not. So how did he go to jail then, if it wasn't...
Yes.
Yes. Okay, yeah. That's probably why it took them 7 months, because they're like, what do we do with this?
Well, this was after.
Ah.
So they tried to overturn the ruling because they were like, what has happened here is way worse than manslaughter in 8 years.
Yeah.
So they were like, well, that's also not the case. And on top of that, like, Brandes was in a diminished state when his life was taken. So he wouldn't have had the ability to communicate or fight back. So because of the fact that Armin killed him, it was then changed to murder. They also flipped it on its head and they were like, look, this was more about Armin fulfilling his own sexual desire for cannibalism more than it was ever about Brandes wanting to be eaten. He's like, that didn't matter, it was just a willing participant in his little game. So they're like, it should more be on him than it should be on victim.
Yeah.
Which I kind of agreed with. I was like, that makes sense. But I also get it, because it's like, well, someone came into your house and said, kill me, eat me.
Eat me, yeah.
But, yeah. The retrial began on the 12th of January in 2006. They also went a little bit deeper into the conversation over why Brandes would have been in more of a diminished state, because, like, not only was he bleeding out, but he was on heavy medication, he was on pills, he was on alcohol, he was on cough syrup. Things that he, I guess, took himself, but he would have been suffering from severe blood loss and had all that kind of stuff, he wouldn't have been able to stop him even if he tried. Like at that point, it's all over, Red Rover.
Far out.
On the 10th of May 2006, a court in Frankfurt convicted Armin of murder and changed his initial 8.5 years to a sentence of life imprisonment.
Good.
Get this.
Oh.
No, it's fine.
Okay, good. I was like, you just come back and slap me. Okay.
No. After his imprisonment, he became a vegetarian.
Oh, of course he did.
Some would say that choice came a little bit too late, but he also started working at the prison library, and he supported the Greens.
How do you go from wanting to be a cannibal to a veggie? Or vegan, whatever he was.
Vegetarian.
Veggie, how? How do you do that?
Maybe you get counselling, see the error in your ways, and you can never touch meat again.
Oh boy, oh boy.
I don't really know, to be honest. There are other details, but I decided that I wouldn't put them in because they're too vulgar. Highlights of that kind of stuff really are just different kinds of cuts of meats and how we cooked them and how we enjoyed them. But that just really, it doesn't really add anything to the case, and I would rather not go into that if I can avoid it. So that actually brings us to the end of today's little episode on the polite cannibal.
Thank you for leaving those pieces out. I appreciate you for that. But not thank you for that. But it was good, but it wasn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's, I have never heard. That's just, yeah.
See, I thought you would have heard of him because he was pretty popular just as far as like a talking point is concerned.
Yeah, no. I'm so out of the loop in things. You know that.
I don't know if I do.
Yeah, okay. Yep. I don't know how I feel. I wonder if they kind of just put him away just in case another person didn't willingly come to him and then he just started slaughtering people. I mean, he still did anyway, but you know. No, thank you.
No, thank you indeed. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I guess we'll catch you on the flip.
Goodbye.
Bye. Like Carmen without the C.
Yeah.
So it's like Armin.
Hey, Armin?
Hey, Armin. You're a sloppy girl.
She's a sloppy girl.
She's a sloppy girl. It's a case that you can really sink your teeth into because, like, at the end of the day, you get to go home happy.
Yeah, delectable. Thank you.
Yeah. All these words, sink your teeth in, delectable, this is great. Turns out,
My muta.
mutafeka,
Mutafeka.
but légèrement le gâteau. That's what you should do instead of swearing. You just break into fake angry French. Do it, please.
Okay.
Do that be funny.
Alright.
So, webba webba deb deb. Hey Morty. Frickin' Morty.
I didn't know when you said, "Hi, Morty."
Penis in the pan. Penis in the pan. Oh, Zotolo! What is that in the pan?
That was fun.
That was fun.
I like that.
Please, danke. Danke schön. Ein Mädchen. How do you say little? Little.
Little.
Ein little slice of meat.
Schlischler Fleisch.
Fischler flesh.